Well, we're here, aren't we? 3 nights in a row. Amazing. That's the way it works. Oh, excuse myself. Got a bit of it. That's called live. It's called human, and I'm it. Anyway, blessings of joy and peace and wonder, because I'm so glad to be here. I know we all go through things, don't we? Well, story I'm going to tell you tonight, because remember, it's bits and pieces around the time of Christ, not from the Bible, but may have some merit in helping you with your daily walk. That's all they are. Unprovable. I don't come with references. You can believe, you can disbelieve. It doesn't matter. I'm going to let you know. The rest is up to you. Well, apparently I can't even figure out which side that's on. There we go. It looks somewhat presentable. Yeah. So, after all of that, a little piece of wisdom for you. God brings to you what you require. Now, you may think that some of these things that have come to you as, whoa, no, I don't need those. But you never know when you will. He fortifies us before the storm, even though we may think we're in the storm. We might be just at its leading edge, and He fortifies us before we enter it. I've had moments in my life where things have been brought forward that may be brought forward in a more public venue, and if I hadn't known it, wow, that would have been ballistic. I sometimes don't like when people seek truth. Don't know. We're working on that one. Maybe that's what we work on tomorrow. I don't know. But the reality here is that God brings us to things that we require. Now, they're not always going to be good things, wonderful things, amazing things. Sometimes they are hardships that we don't wish to go through. But at the end of it, you may find out, oh, well, that was certainly helpful for this. Just a thought. We'll leave you there. If you wish to get a hold of me, it's Start Healing. Oops, I did it again. That is my website, but it doesn't help you much. Let me try to help you more. Eric at starthealing.me. Eric at starthealing.me. Eric at starthealing.me. And yes, we're working on intro and extro, and then we don't have to say the hodo. But till then, we will. Because we really wish you to reach out if you require us. If you're thinking as you're listening to our stories and hearing the stuff we say and go, man, it'd be really good to talk to us. Well, talk to us. We're here. As I said, free of charge. Well, we don't usually use free, but without price. This is just to get together to get to know each other, see if we fit, see if we move, see if we shape together with God. Because God's the ultimate healer. I'm just the bridge. Rickety sometimes, squeaky others. Yeah, but I'm here. I may have some wisdom that you require, and if you do, well, then you're a little further along in your healing, a little closer to God. That's all that matters to me. So you can just send an email to me. I'll send you back a link. You book, and we talk. And that's it. So let's leave that there. Now we move into story time, and tonight we're just talking, as I said, around the time of Jesus, stuff that has happened. Now, one of the things that I did, and I actually enjoyed when I was doing it, is I moved very large stones for archaeologists in the Middle East. Set of circumstances landed me there. Set of more circumstances landed me in that job. I got to hear some things. It was just snippets of the life that would have been around the time of Christ. Snippets around. the life of Christ that we haven't heard. As John said, it would probably take the library bigger than Earth to make them all happen. It sounds like a lot. It was. I saw all the little things that Christ did. Sometimes they weren't so little, at least to the person that happened to. Roman conscripted citizen goes to war. Has to. Either he's killed by friendly swords or enemy swords. Survives. Thrives, actually, which is amazing to him in himself. He's not a violent man, but he seems to be good at this art of war. Then something happens to him. He actually gets hit by a stone that's thrown from a wall. It breaks things in him. He can no longer stand properly. He cannot hold a sword properly. The Roman physicians, which were quite knowledgeable on things, especially on the battlefield, could not repair him. He was tossed from the army, lost his chance at citizenship, and ended up on the street, yeah, as they say, along the side of the road. That's where they plopped him. Beg here. There's a old broken down thing over there. Crawl into that. Good luck. And they were gone. Wasn't a Roman citizen. He had no rights. He was getting rights, hoping for rights. He's not sure what happened to his family. One day maybe he'd find out. Probably didn't want to. Nothing he could do about it. Couldn't barely move, but a few paces here and there. He was just sitting there. And he would beg. Not so much for money, that was useless to him. He couldn't go anywhere. He, he would say, bites and crumbs, bites and crumbs. Of course, in his language, not ours, but we're English, so we'll speak that. Bites and crumbs, he would go. He worked on that little shelter, it was broken down, something. Got it to a place where it was somewhat livable. Figured out the amenities, as they say, and to his amazement, behind that, a little ways, quite a ways, sometimes crawling, sometimes falling, he had found some pottery vessels, cleaned them as best he could, and carried water back, sometimes crawling, sometimes falling. Not sure what had happened to him, but something had broke inside, and he couldn't get fixed. Been doing this for about 3 months when he saw a group of people coming. Wow, there were a lot of them. Well, they should have some bits and bites and food, maybe. Something. A little bit more to eat. But the crowd passed, not one of them stopped. It was, wow, must be a hard life for them too. None of them were willing to give him bits or bites or food or just a little something, bread, something to keep him alive for another few hours, although he was starting to wonder why. Been there for about 3 weeks or 4 weeks. There were two people talking at the end. The one looked at the other and said, "Go on." I inquired to talk to him. Oh, maybe some bits and bites. He goes, maybe one more day. And he said, this one sat with me, my little meager fire. He found some wood from I don't know where. I have been scavenging around for a long time to find what I found, but he found more blazed. Said he would be back, gone in a few minutes, came back with three fish. I tried that water. And he goes, never got a fish. But he did. And that was good. Fish is yummy. And out of one of his pockets, of all places to have it, a piece of wrapped bread. He also put that on the side of the thing, and the fish were cooking. He cleaned them with care. Knowing I couldn't, that's true. My hand would go where it decided to go. We sat, we talked about God. That had been important in my younger life until my village was captured by the Romans, and then you had to worship Caesar or die, so I decided not to die. But the way that he talked about Father and the way he talked about God was not the way that I talked about God. But he talked with me for quite a while, and I noticed that the large group of people had stopped, and we were a bit up the road and all together, and one of his ones that were with him came back and asked if he was okay, and he said, yeah. He said, I'll be here the night. He said, we'll move on in the morning. He didn't sleep that night. He worked fixing some things. He found something I didn't know existed near the water, a natural salt deposit of some sort. Caught me a bunch more fish, salted. I would have dry salted fish for a while. And he looked at me with very intense eyes as morning was coming. He said, well, I require to keep going. I have places to get to. And he goes, yeah, I understand. He said, but thanks for the fish. That will feed me for a few days. And the guy said, that's what I came here for, is to feed you. Not just for a few days. Then I realized who I might be talking to. I mean, I wasn't completely lost in the situation that was happening in Jerusalem and around it. There was somebody walking around healing people. Oh my, could that be me too? And this man looked at me with very great tenderness and he said, not yet, but soon. But let's make it easier on you. I was a little disappointed, but easier but better, something to do. And he said to me, as long as you share those fish, they will last for as long as you require them. So anyone coming along, you give them a little piece, and you'll find that you have enough fish for as long as you're going to be here. I am the one that you talked to me about. Yes, I am that one that does the healing. That it isn't your time yet. I will make it easier for you. You will not be healed. Not yet. There is a joy coming to you, though. Don't worry. My father is at work. He didn't know, but the idea of the fish lasting for a long time, that was good. Sharing it, well, he was always that type of person, so it didn't bother him at all. If it didn't work, well, he was going to starve sooner or later anyway. He said the same thing about the vessels. He said, as long as you share the water, there will be water. You will not have to go anywhere. He said, but I give you three instructions. He said, wish you to go in and push on the one good wall and lean. That's it. He goes, okay, I can do that. He said, I wish you to continue to lift your foot, your leg, foot, leg, foot, leg. Lift foot first, then leg, much as you can. No, you can't do that much. And he goes, I can do that. And then I wish you to move your hands and your arms up, down, up, down. When you get tired, rest, then do it again. He goes, okay. He goes, it's best that you stay something like you are, or the Romans will come and bring you back and you will die in war. He goes, that would probably be true. I understand now. He said, I was hoping for a miracle and maybe I got one. I have water, I have fish, the bread. Yes. As long as you share the bread, there will be more bread. Wow. Thank you. And you made my place much easier to live in. Well, I am a builder. He chuckled and he said, may I pray for you? And the man said, yes. The man wept and with him, and he renounced all of the other gods. He didn't care which ones. He got rid of them all. Father God was it. This man, he felt, was on a long journey to redeem us all. He didn't understand that, but he knew it was happening. So the man left with his entourage. A couple of them came and gave him a bunch of wood, and the man said the same thing, as long as you share the wood. I get it. There will be wood. Thank you. And I will do those exercises. So the man left. Didn't know if he would see him again. Not likely. Seemed to be on the road somewhere to something. And somehow I felt that that man was going to redeem all men. He didn't know. But 3 months later, the Roman soldier was back. He was, uh-oh. Still couldn't defend himself worth anything. He had got a bit movement back, but nothing to. And they checked him, of course. They brought a physician. They checked to see if he would be useful again. Still, he wasn't. And they had someone that he didn't even recognize at first, but then he realized that's my wife. What have they done to her? And the Roman centurion just picked her up like a sack of wheat and brought her over and dropped her on the ground and said, she's useless. She's got sick. She's going to die. You look after her. Rome doesn't have to. She looked like she had been mauled by something. He wept, held her, and said, I will. He said, well, you're still useless, but I'm going to give you a job. Okay. A job comes with something. What? The grace of Rome. We will not kill you today. Maybe tomorrow. We will come by every once in a while and ask if you have seen any that are bandits or if you're still alive from them and point in the right direction and we will allow you to live another few days. He goes, okay, if that's what you wish, then that's what I will do. Well, have the time with your wife. She's going to die. Very sickly. She was fine, but now she's not. There was a spout of anger in him. Could even call it rage, but he couldn't do anything about it. Then he just forgave the man because that's all he had. A priest going by that seemed to have been somehow connected to the man that left him with the fish and wood was hungry and he gave him the food and the water and the man said, I have an extra copy of this. I have to copy another copy. Anyway, this is written in a language that maybe you can read. I really couldn't, but as he picked it up, all of a sudden he could. He said, yes, I can read this. I don't know how, but priest chuckled and said, probably God. That man's stirring up everything, but I believe he is the Messiah. If I said that, I'd lose my head. I have a feeling he's going to lose his. We really need a Messiah, but that ain't the one they're looking for. It's one I was looking for. Can't believe how blazing that was, but it's true. You've met him? Yes, I think I did. He gave me fish and gave me bread and gave me water. I'm still here and I keep sharing it. So thank you for this. This tells me more of the one he called Father. Right. Enjoy it. I think you will. So he started to read and he started to pray and he came to certain spaces. His wife wasn't much better, but she was still alive days later. She was sick, but she was still alive. He would lay with her and give her heat, and she would smile at him and say, I am sorry. I could not stop them. And he'd go, all right, it's all forgiven. We are what we are. And almost like God was looking after him, which he knew he was by his readings. He did see bandit activity every single time he needed to, and they would go and catch a bandit and they would allow him to continue to be there. You're a good sentry. Too bad you're broken. Did the exercises and got stronger, but he still had the problem of falling down all the time and he couldn't hold a sword. Didn't need to. Bandits didn't see anything of worth with him. Sometimes he even fed them and told them to go the different way, and he didn't talk about them. This went on for a few years. He heard that the man, and it sorrowed him greatly that the man had been crucified, something new, two sticks of wood put together in a certain fashion that allowed the person to suffocate. Romans were mean. He asked all that were involved to be forgiven because that's all he knew to do. 4 days later, the man was back. Tell it was that man. He had holes in his hands, holes in his feet, hole in his side, but he wasn't bleeding. Sat with him for a while and he said, will you accept me as your savior? And the man said yes, and the woman said yes. And he touched the woman. He said, I will not make you fully well, but they will take you back and use you again. And she goes, oh, no, don't do that. But I will make you strong in your weakness, as I have your husband. She goes, that's kind of you, sir. I will accept that. So I was there for a few hours, and he said, there is another joy coming for you. And he goes, my daughter? What will be left of her, I suppose. Well, you now know that God heals. But you won't be here much longer. There's something coming. It will stir everything up. It'll be after I have left and gone back to heaven. When it comes, it will take you with it. And then you will be fully healed, so will your wife. You will go live and speak of I am with them. Here we will conclude this story. Probably a little long, not sure. Wasn't watching my timing. I do apologize. Sometimes these are a bit long, but hopefully encouraging. So let's have a blessing of absolute, wonderful, magnificent joy. That all of your current requirements, and I use the word requirements because that's what they are. They are required. Be in some way met. And I ask for peace and I ask for whatever that brush wishes to paint for you that's in God's hands, according to His will and wish. That would be God. And according to your will and wish, this can be. We come to you, O Father, in your mighty, wonderful name. Everything moves, shapes, and bees. That's just who it is. If these people are meeting for the first time or the 100th time, push the darkness back so that they can have an amazing meeting with you. If it's the first time, teach them the Roman road. If it's 100th time, take them deeper. Take this story and do what you mean to do with it. Whatever that is, I'll leave it in your care. It's your story. I'm just the one that told it. We just leave it there. And we ask for grace and mercy and courage and strength as we go. And we say thankful, grateful, gratitude. Thankful, grateful, gratitude. Thankful, grateful, gratitude. Standing in awe and honor, respect. Allowing all glory to flow to Father, Spirit, Son. This is. Amen. When you rest, rest well. When you wake, wake well. And know that your path is well lit by God. Blessings.